Well guys, we are on Gerry again for this video. I know we kind of showed you finishing up some of the stuff on the interior, but Steven got the cage all painted and the floor. So as far as like in the driver compartment, it's all ready to start putting flooring in. What I'm going to be working on in this video is probably ending up working on the floor too, but right now I am out back here going to put the fuel cell in and then make a battery mount here in the corner. Right here is the fuel cell. Went ahead and got the mounts on it so I can kind of measure out, you know, what size it needs to be. It looks like I'm going to be using this square tube on the back here and then put another one on the front and then go across like this. That way you can just kind of sit down in between. But I'm measuring out that now and cutting it out. Hopefully we can keep getting a lot of work done on it, and hopefully get most of the interior stuff taken care of. That way the next step would be putting the drivetrain in and, you know, run wiring and stuff like that after the floor goes in. Then we can start working on the outside of the car too. But we're gonna keep working on it, and you know, hopefully I can get the back here done today. So see how it goes. I went ahead and got these bars cut to length to set in. Went ahead and cleaned up the corner of the bars here so we can set this in. But as you can see, this kind of just slides in. I got each side notched out to the size of the tube. That slides in right there. And I'm going to go ahead and tack that into place where I like it. It's sitting level there. And then I'm going to take this bar that I've already notched as well. And it's got to scoot up that way some. But I want to go ahead and get this one back here notched first and tacked into place. And then I'll measure for the width of the fuel cell. That way I can have the bars perfectly where these mounts go back to front. And then I'll add some side bars to make it a square. And then the fuel cell will be done and I can paint it up, and then I can start working on the battery box, which I'm going to put over here in this corner once I get that done. So I'm going to go ahead and tack that up, and then I'll cut back to when I have both bars tacked where I want them, and we'll go ahead and try to set the fuel cell in place. All right, well, I got those bars welded in place. I got the fuel cell mocked in there where it's going to be sitting now, so it's in the place. It's not hanging too low. It's kind of perfect. Now I think I'm going to work on putting a battery box right here in this corner, kind of with this existing tube that I already have here, so that actually shouldn't be too hard. And then, yeah, pretty much wrapping up the back here. I don't know if I'm going to add 2 bars on the side of this or not. That's something me and Steven will talk about here in a little bit. But I'm going to go ahead and get mucking a battery tray back here and kind of start planning out and seeing what we can do with that. Well, guys, I went ahead and made this battery box real quick. Just something as a platform to hold it down. I think what I'm going to do is got it all cleaned up. I'm going to put it right here in the corner. That should fit nicely. I think there's enough support with those bars underneath, and the thicker of the metal, I think it'll work just nicely. I'm gonna go ahead and just tack it in the center here for now, and then kind of weld it in completely once we know for sure that's what we want to do. But yeah, I went ahead and made that up. I'm gonna go ahead and tack this in, and then keep moving on. Well, there is the fuel cell and the battery box kind of mocked up. I know it's obviously not complete. I'm going to add either some bolts or something to hold down the battery, but we can figure that out more once we actually have a battery. I kind of just made this size that you buy just as like a normal battery tray size. So, but yeah, those 2 bars are in for the fuel cell. All we got to do now is completely final weld it. I did quite a bit, but this is just tacked in for now just to make sure it'll work. But yeah, I think the next thing is Steven's going to be working on getting the floor put in. I know he's got it painted now. It's all painted in here. And the next thing we're going to work on is start getting this floor put in. And that's kind of the reason why we got to get this back here done, so we can get it final welded and painted. Then we're going to put a floor back here as well, along with like a firewall for the back side. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and give it over to Steven, and he's going to start working on the floor.
Okay, so I've been working today on getting flooring and stuff in the car. I've cut some templates out of fiber or poster board, you know, cardboard aided design. And so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. I mean, they're not perfect by any means, but hey, that's what trial and error is for, especially there. I tried to cut it, I don't know, about 5 or 6 times, but finally found where it fits the best. So I got it marked, so that way whenever I transfer it over to the sheet metal, I can make sure it's really clean and nice. But yeah, I mean, it's taken me a few hours. Got quite a bit of mess over here, but you know, doing the best I can, and working on it. We got to get this done, and then I can start working on making the templates for the driver's side, and then we can get the engine and transmission put back together and back in the car. So work on headers and transmission mount and all that. But as you saw, Jason killed it, absolutely killed it with the fuel cell mount and the battery box. You know, it's just a tray for now, and then once we get the mounts and everything for the battery, we'll build a box to completely enclose it. But I kind of gave it, you know, let him have free reign with it and do whatever. But yeah, he's absolutely killed it. So looking forward to getting that all finished up. And then over there in that empty hole, we're going to put some extra bracing and stuff in there, because that's where the nitrous bottle is going to mount. We're going to probably raise the fuel cell up, you know, to where it's more flush with the bottom. I mean, we still have the outlets and stuff, but I want them to kind of be up a little bit higher. So that way when the nitrous bottle and stuff gets mounted, it's more kind of everything's on the same plane. But yeah, it looks awesome in there. Really looking forward to seeing this thing get back together and get going. You know, here it is, the end of December. You know, beginning of April's really only about 3.5 months away. So we still have quite a bit of work and not a whole lot of time. So we're gonna keep going. All right, guys, what we're gonna do is, this is a new piece that I'm working on right now. I've got the template laid out. and I'm going to tape it down and then just use my chalk pencil here to draw it out, and then we'll cut it out.
All right, well, I know Steven just talked about his cardboard template and stuff that he was working on. Now he's got some of the actual sheet metal laid out from his templates he's been working on so far. They're looking really good, nice and clean. It's only going to take a few more to get this side done, and then I am going to continue working on the rear. Here I'm making some mounts for the body in the corner and on the sides to go up and actually mount to the body with this round tube here. We're just going to keep working on it as we go. But yeah, I wanted to make a little update on our progress so far, and we should be done with the floor and the rear body mount stuff today. Yeah. And maybe by the end of the day, we'll push the car out and get the motor and trans in it to get mocked up, and then keep going. But we want to show this little update. I'll show you a little bit what I'm exactly going to be doing with this round bar and some of Steven's templates as he's working on it. But yeah, just wanted to give you a little progress report, and we're going to keep going. All right, well, right here I'm making a template in the back here in this corner, and then I'm going to use the same template for this other side. And what I'm going to do with that is put it on the underside, weld it to the body. I'm going to use that to connect the tube from here down to the frame, and that's going to be my rear quarter body mount for the rear of the car. What I'll do is the same thing. I'll make a template in these two back corners and run a tube from the corner up to here, and that'll be for the rear body mount. So I went ahead and made this template. That'll be used for the other side, and then I'll make one for this. And I'll get those plates cut out, and I'll get this tube cut out. Go ahead and whip up some body mounts real quick. Quick little tip too when you're making these templates. I know a lot of people have shown how to do this, but I'll make a little quick tech tip as well. When you have a white piece of paper and you need to know lines of like where to kind of cut it, dirty hands, dirty gloves on the white paper, you just kind of rub your hand on it and you'll pretty easily see that dirt line right where you need to kind of trace it out and cut it. And then you'll take this over, we'll just cut that out, and then that'll be the mount that fits perfectly in this corner. Quick little tip, but it helps a lot, especially on all this stuff that we've been doing. All our dirty hands and dirty gloves actually come in handy once in a while. So there you go. All right, now as you can see, I got all the brackets cut out, smoothed down, and ready to be welded in. I went ahead and also ground down underneath here where I'm going to be welding. And that way I can weld these underneath here. And like I said, the tube up to there will be the next step. And then, yeah, this will have bracing in the back. So I'm going to go ahead and weld these plates in, cut out the tubes. I know the interesting thing is going to be how many times it's going to take to cut these pipes. I only have like an inch to spare. So hopefully I can get it right the first time. Chances are probably won't. I'll probably have to use something else than the perfect length of tube that I already have, because I don't know, it takes like 5 times to cut one piece for the first time, and then by the time you're done, we're out of tube. So hopefully I can get these done the first try, probably for the first time ever. So we'll see. All right, just spent the time with those templates, got them welded up underneath, and then I went ahead and cut out the bars and got them welded out too. So I can show you real quick what we were talking about. It's not the best weld I've ever done in my life, but for being body mounts, it'll work just fine. You can see this front bar is up under, and then it mounts to the frame here, and the rear is the same. This front goes up to that, so it's basically mirror image on both sides, and those 4 tubes is what hold this rear section, you know, down to the frame. The front of the body is all welded to the frame as well, so it's all attached to the frame anyway. So we just wanted to add some extra support back here. That way, like I said, when we get a spoiler on the rear here, we can actually have some downforce to the frame. But now that's all tied in. I got to put the battery box back down here where it was, and then put the fuel cell in, then floor is ready to put in back here. So basically all the metal work and everything's done back here. Battery box, just a couple little tacks. But yeah, Steven has been at the same time working on the floor, and he's pretty much got this whole side done. On this side done, just got to add rivets and kind of connect everything. I know he's over there working on the other half now, and looks really good. It's taken quite a bit to kind of just trim around everything, but it looks really clean. And we're going to paint this, I believe we're going to paint it gray. That way we can kind of see if there's anything laying around. That way if you paint it all black, we'll pretty much lose tools, screwdrivers, nuts, bolts. It'll just fall into the abyss if you don't paint it, at least something else that you can see. So, and knowing us, we'd lose probably 20, 10 millimeters, half-inch wrenches, every nut and bolt that you can imagine, go under the tire, spin us out, flip it over. So yeah.
I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah. Well, you never know. With our luck, no, you would hit a pebble and it would roll over or something.
No, our luck would be we'd have a leaky radiator and it would cause us to crash the car on the first pass.
Yeah, something. But Steven's going to keep going on the floor on the other side. And like I said, at least at the very end of this, we'll have the whole floor in and what I just showed you on the trunk. And maybe the engine back in it. I don't know. That might wait to do that for the next video. But yeah, it is coming along good. This is kind of a real big step, so we're pretty excited. So, hey guys, I wanted to make a quick little outro for this video. As you can kind of see, the car's actually down on the ground and turned around in the garage. We went ahead and did that so we could get the engine and trans in it in the next video. I know we kind of wanted to in this video, but just didn't happen. These freaking floors and this rear end stuff just took a little longer than we wanted. Back here is all finalized with the body mounts. And Steven got more of this side floor done. So the floor is almost completely done. So I know we didn't get as much as we wanted in this video. Seems like, I don't know, with work and everything else, it just stuff takes a lot longer than we planned. But in the next one, we are definitely getting the drivetrain in the car, motor mounts in, and we're going to be putting the front body panels on. Steven's going to be making headers, and then we'll continue working on the floor as we go. But thanks for liking, subscribing, following along with this build. I know it's coming together. We can't wait till spring, get some real action, and get this car going down the drag strip. That's going to be really exciting. But, you know, you can go back and watch some of the other Gerry videos as well, too. See the progress that we've made, you know, this entire time. Also, check out some of the LS swap Camaro stuff that we have. There's more coming up on that. Big plans, like I said, turbo stuff. And we want to get a lot of this Gerry stuff done, and then we'll shoot right back to the Camaro. But thanks for following along. Like, subscribe, and Watch out for the next one.